Hey everybody, Von here with the Vonster vlog with day 25 of a year of yoga. And I'm not feeling that great today, but still here showing up on the mat. But it's going to be a little bit of an easier day, maybe. I wanted to focus a little bit more on mobility than what I kind of have been, like less on getting a bunch of poses in and more on just kind of really focusing on a couple of really good juicy stretches and strengthening exercises. So let's start as we do here in the center of our mat. Hey guys. Just a couple of centering breaths. I think the greatest gift we can give to ourselves is to be present. But like seriously though, to really get the most out of the moment, sometimes all we have to do is just be in it. So you could use a chair today. I have my piano bench, but just something to kind of bring the ground up to us. My hips feel super tight today. So, and if you don't want to be up on your wrists, you can actually just be down on your elbows. And I am just rocking forward and back here, getting a nice stretch. And if I come back like this, ooh, it gets a nice stretch on my thoracic spine, the upper part of my spine, I think. I don't know. I'm reading books and trying to learn things. But I have my elbows propped here on the bench and relaxing forward and down into it, kind of doing a shark fin with prayer hands over my head. And I'm going to come up and out of it into a little bit of cat-cow action. We can bend our knees. Oh, I don't know if you heard that. That was my shoulder. Like it didn't hurt as much as startle me. Rounding our spine open and out. Then bringing our tailbone and our head towards the sky. Stretching our neck. Exhale. Inhale up. I'm going to stay here for a minute before coming back into cat pose. Okay, so from here, I am actually going to just kind of put my hand on the back of my head, and I'm going to be opening through my elbow. I can't really get past more than like right here, trying to keep my hips square to the ground. 2, 3, 4, and 5. What really makes that challenging is keeping your hips squared to the ground, and it's not a race to get wrenched all the way around. It's about strengthening and building mobility, engaged mobility through our shoulders and upper spine. So again, left hand on the back of my head. Inhale, exhaling. There's 3. Again, by keeping both of my knees bent a little bit, it's forcing my hips to, or it's forcing my awareness rather, to be on my hips and the fact that they're not just wrenching around. So there's 4. And hey kitty. 5. Who's my pretty girl? You wanna do some yoga today? And now from here, again, you could be up on fists, up on elbows, just whatever makes you feel comfy. But we are going to focus on just the pelvic tilt part of cat-cow. So we're going to turn our pelvis under and then rotate it towards the sky, really opening up through our sit bones. And like it's kind of like rounding our lower back. So we're arching our lower back and then rounding our lower back. But as we arch it, we might be able to feel getting into our hamstrings. I'm actually going to step a little bit more away from my bench here and just kind of focus on the leaning forward, arching that lower back again. We're not rounding just yet. And you could use blocks. Stepping down from the bench to our blocks. Just however deep as you're comfortable going without starting to round your lower back. You want to engage that arch. Almost like you're keeping your back very, very straight. I really love leaning forward and back. We can lower our bricks one more time. Maybe leaning a bit side to side. And depending on the height of your bench, you may be able to use the bench or the blocks or nothing at all if that's what you'd prefer. But we can actually, I'm going to turn so that my booty is right over the bench, kind of holding on to our ankles. We can then come down into sitting, and we can lean forward and then press up. Now that's a very modified version with the bench being so high as that. This is what it looks like for me in my body. Leaning forward, exhaling down, inhale, exhale up. I like to take a breath here, coming out of the stretch and then leaning down in a little deeper. Inhaling down into the squat. Inhaling, coming up. So there's a little bit of a just pulsing and shifting with the movement. And it's also kind of nice to have that bench there just in case you fall. And now we're going to bend our knees and slowly roll. Yeah. Oh, one vertebrae at a time up. I'm going to set our bench off to the side. And we're going to do something that I really enjoy. And I think they're called 90-90 drills. But we're going to kind of have this leg like we're in pigeon. So both of our legs are actually going to be at a little bit or at a 90 degree. And I can really feel the stretch through this side, through here. And if you want to feel deeper into the stretch over this leg, you can actually just come on down over that leg. But right now, I think it'd be cool if we focused more on, I like to keep my foot and knee keep it kind of tighter, because that way I can come on up. He really uses that booty muscle. Sorry, not to just awkwardly out of contact ass smack, but wow, that muscle is not used to doing that. And then, so we'll push up there at the top, get a nice stretch into that hip flexor, and then come back down. And then we windshield wiper our legs back up. And then we come over to the other side. Kind of position our legs. And come on. Ooh. Feel like I'm still working on the stance, but we're at where we're at today. So there's one on both sides. We're going to make that rotation through. If you need to, you can put your legs out straight and kind of come over to the side. Just do you. Honor your body and do what your body feels like it needs to do. But this is so handy and helpful, especially for, let me do a set and then we'll talk some more. So, used both sides of my butt cheeks that time. Whew. And coming back down. Come in like this. Ooh, I don't want to. Okay, her tail's not there. I thought I was going to squish the cat. Yeah. And up. Then coming back down. I'm going to take a rest for a moment here. It's a very real situation when Randy and I go hiking and backpacking and loading and unloading booths or just carrying stuff around the house or out in the garden, that if one or the other of us, whether we're together or whether we're alone, if we fall and hurt our wrists, it can be very, very difficult to get back up. And so, and this is after, like, my dad was in a wheelchair and, like, I provided elder care to my mom for a bit. Randy has his experiences with his grandparents, and it's like we've seen firsthand someone else going through this, and we're trying to prepare ourselves for whenever we're in that position. It's going to be very handy to be able to get up off of the ground in a practiced manner without having to use our hands or wrists or, anything like that. So this probably doesn't seem very yoga-y, but I do feel like for me, it's very necessary. So just coming back over to the other side, because from here, we can step forward and come up. Then we can come down and kind of plop on our booty. So, it's a nice thing to practice, I think. Of course, as always, you do you. Since I stood up on one side, I'm going to stand up on the other. Oh, this is a lot harder to do than it used to be, Cali Cat. Coming down and over. And I think we're just going to meet here now in cobbler pose. Take a few centering breaths. Pet the cat. And from here, we could, if you want, move this into like this shape. My right leg is at a right angle. And then I'm going to stack my left leg on top, my ankle bones over, or my ankles by my knees. And I am flexing my feet to protect those ankle joints. And this is really getting into a nice deep stretch. You could do this seated with just your leg crossed over your other. And then you can even deepen it a little bit and hold on to both of your ankles as you start to, with a kind of radiating and growing to the top of your head. And just leaning forward. anytime I hold onto my ankles, I do try to make sure to flex my feet. That way I am protecting that joint. I'm going to open back up. And then we can actually just come over to the other side. There we go. I'm going to start right here. Your arms don't have to be on the outsides. It can go over. Just stretching into those outer hips. And there we are. Such a good kitty. So from here, we can also come up. Yay! That was day 25. That was a lot more challenging for me, again, than I thought it would be. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, what kind of mobility stuff or strength building exercises that are kind of, easy to do on a mat. Like, yeah, let me know down in the comments. And thank you guys so much for just being here and for being you. And until next time, keep on keeping on. Bye.